dad was raised in the post-World War II setting of like the government can do no wrong. And after the United States, you know, supposedly won World War II, whatever, I don't know what that means. You know, I guess when Hitler ran out of the good Vitamolten, they just believed and trusted everything that the government said, you know. And I remember, and it's one of the things that I even do. You know, my dad was always into like having to buy a weed killer and spray weeds. I remember as a little kid always like going like, well, who gets to decide what's a weed? And my dad would go out and buy all these expensive chemicals, and he'd always be out there like spraying like. And back then it wasn't, you know, even, I mean, it was like DDT and Malathion. I mean, like horrible, like cancer-causing nightmarish chemicals. And my dad would just be like spraying.
No mask.
And, like all over the place. And even back as a little kid, I was like, but who decides what's a weed and what's not a weed? Just like, son, gotta trust the government. And so, you know, it's a generational thing. You know, I think, you know, as generations skip and change, you know, and so, you know, we might make, you know, maybe hopefully you guys can make the world a better place in your generation, but then you might have a bunch of freaking lazy kids who fuck it all up again. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually sort of leads into something else I was going to say. Do you feel that apathy is actually on the rise, or is finally maybe receding, that we're finally starting to get past that?
I feel it receding right now. I definitely feel there's a new spark. I think everybody put all this faith in Obama, but in a way, though, it kind of brought everybody together to like say, oh my God, we're being screwed so hard. And then now that Obama is kind of disappointing everybody and just turning out to be another president, I'm like, you know, who would have guessed that would happen?
It made me realize I was trapped in that left-right paradigm.
But at least it brought everybody together. You know, there's a lot to be said for that. So I feel apathy is actually going down right now. I mean, I feel that there is a new spark, and people, you know, are starting to just, you know, I mean, it's just so weird to me that we have drones that can go bomb people, but we don't have a drone that could fix a broken nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like weird.
Yeah.
It's like weird. That would be like the first drone I'd build. If I had a drone factory, I'd go, you know, maybe we should have a drone that could, like, you know, fix a leak in the bottom of the ocean, or fix a leak in a nuclear plant.
Do something productive instead of just kill people. Because those would be things like robots can do that people can't do. So what if we had those, you know, and so it's just, you know, I don't know. Well, we'll just do a couple more if you don't care. You mentioned that the Blackwater is working with the DEA now?
Yeah, I don't know that much about it, but they're getting private contracts, you know.
So let's privatize another aspect of the drug war and give somebody some money to make off of it.
Yeah, basically hired mercenaries now, or like narcotics agents. So, yeah, just the more privatized everything gets, the more dangerous, and the more crazy, and the more corrupt.
I agree.
And the thing that sucks about it is that good people will still make the argument of like, well, but you get the same goods and services for less money and all that, but I'm always going to believe that the privatization of things, just like, you know, with healthcare and anywhere where there's that profit motive in there, it's going to get crappier.
They don't have your best interest at heart.
Yeah,
they don't want to give. They want to give you the least possible amount for the greatest possible amount of money. That's the only way their stock goes up.
I just, you know, picture kind of like the movie Idiocracy. I think it was so perfect. And, you know, I picture if it keeps going like it is, you know, you're going to have the, what's a pharmaceutical? You're going to have like the Eli Lilly police kick down your door when you like, you know, smoke pot. You know, it's going to get that in your face. I mean,
privatization of the police force as well?
Yeah, they'll just be like representing the corporations. You know what I mean? I mean, just like, why do we even need these middlemen? If these people are out here basically strong-arming like mafia to protect profit rights of drug companies and all these things, I mean, just take a guy with an Eli Lilly badge and give him a gun and get it over with. You know? At least it's honest.
Yeah, at least make it loud and proud.
Yeah.
Okay, last one, just a real general question.
Oxycontin, bitches.
What does freedom mean to you?
What does freedom mean to me? Gee, I don't know. That's a rough one. Terrible, big, broad question. Like
sorry. I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just, you know, I can't. You know, I'd like to say that I feel like I've experienced total freedom, but I don't know if I've ever really experienced total freedom. I mean, I feel like there's always been stuff in my life where I'm not, I guess just being able to do what you want to do all the time, as long as you're not screwing other people over. But I know that I've been raised in a really lucky setting of not being under tyranny, and so it's, it's kind of tricky. I mean, you can always look at your own life wherever you are in life and feel sorry for yourself, like, oh my God, I owe the bank all this money, or, I've got myself in debt and I have to work all the time to pay car payments or whatever, so I'm not free. Or you could look at people locked in prisons in another country or living under dictatorships and
Soviet gulag.
Yeah, but then it's like, but is that any different than like our debt model here, and being told that we're free when we're really we're forced to pay taxes, and if we're really free, it seems like you could just go build a house in a field and farm and do this, but the fact is that all the land is bought and paid for, everything is bought and paid for. All our food now has been, like another huge part of this whole crisis is the centralization of all the food, and how only a handful of corporations now are in control of all of our food supply, and the oceans are being polluted. So
it's so difficult to be self-sustaining anymore. I mean, you have to rely on government or somebody for everything, it seems like,
I mean, West freedom would be, I don't know, man, it'd be like Charlie Sheen without the, what I mean? You'd have like, so freedom would be like to have a mansion filled with porn stars, but sushi wouldn't have radiation in it, and cocaine wouldn't give you a heart attack. And, I mean, that's freedom. I don't know.
Well, thanks very much, Kevin. Thanks for talking to me.
All right.